IO Interactive says the next major Hitman game is a little bit on hiatus. This is from Tom Ivan from Video Games Chronicle. IO Interactive has told Hitman fans not to expect the next major entry in the franchise anytime soon. While the studio plans to continue evolving its World of Assassination trilogy, it appears to have shifted its primary focus to its upcoming James Bond project. In January, IO rebranded 2021's Hitman 3 as Hitman World of Assassination and incorporated content from Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 into the package. It also added a new game mode called Freelancer, a single-player offering featuring roguelite elements, strategic planning, and a customizable safe house. And IO has told Eurogamer that fans can expect further experimentation with what Hitman can offer before the studio eventually begins work on a new mainline series. Quote, "We have such a wonderful platform where we can keep experimenting with what the formula can do and what people expect of it," said IO co-owner and chief creative officer Christian Elverdam. Quote, "And then at some point, obviously, as any creative, it would be nice to then go in and say, okay, well, excuse me, with everything we've learned, what would that be if we had to re-articulate a sandbox? What would that look like?" Elverdam added, quote, "Right now, a major new Hitman game, that's a little bit on hiatus, as we're building another agent fantasy that's also taking up a lot of our time, but obviously we'll come back to the beloved Agent 47. He's still very much in the heart of this company." IO revealed in November 2020 that it was working on an officially licensed James Bond game with the working title project 007. It will feature an original James Bond story. And last month, IO announced that it's working on an online fantasy RPG like its Hitman and James Bond projects. The game is developed across its studios in Copenhagen, Malmo, and Barcelona. Quote, "We are building a new world, a new IP, an online fantasy RPG," the company said. Quote, "A world and a game built from the core to entertain players and expand for many years to come." So, IO Interactive, not working on a new Hitman game for a little while, it seems. I don't think anybody's too surprised by that. We knew the James Bond thing was coming. From what I remember of the conversation of Hitman 3 when it came out, is that last level felt like a 007 level, not so much a Hitman level. So they were already kind of experimenting with what is to come with this 007 project that they've got going on, which I'm personally very, very excited about. Hitman, not a game that has captured my attention yet. Haven't really given it the old college try, but I do intend to at some point, is what I keep saying, and then never doing it. And then the fantasy RPG, sure, like, yeah, give me all of that. IO Interactive is a tried and true studio that's been putting in their work for quite a few years now. And when they separated from Square Enix years ago at this point and were able to keep Hitman with them, I think that did nothing but help their brand and really, really help them strengthen what their core values are as a studio and put out work that continues to impress and satisfy its game audience. So keep an eye out for whatever they're doing is where I'm at right now. Connor, how are you feeling?
Well, as someone who has never played a Hitman game, and to be quite frank, has never made any plans to, good. Hitman fans need to play something else because they've been getting Hitman for years now. No, that's not because it's bad. Not because it's bad. I mean,
they like Hitman, Connor.
They like Hitman. Nothing's wrong with liking Hitman or continuing to play Hitman, but they have been doing that for years now. That's been the thing that they're known for. So it's good that they're going for games like a dragon-themed IP. I don't know what that means. That's in regards to the online RPG. Maybe it's Scalebound, perhaps? Who knows? Huh? Would you want to see the return of Scalebound?
You're just going to rebrand it and give it to another studio now?
Well, see, I clicked on the article talking about it, and I was saying it's previously been claimed that the studio is developing a dragon-themed Xbox exclusive. It's kind of weird to hear that,
right.
And then
you think about things of the past.
Yeah, because Scalebound was like done, right? It was effectively completed from what people were saying behind the scenes, and it just got canceled and lost. Like it's just a game that should have came out, and just for executive reasons or whatever, it didn't happen.
Phil Spencer's been on record and been like, "Hey guys, the game just wasn't good. Like, we tried and it didn't come together, and we just decided not. It would probably have hurt the brand more than it would have helped it," is what I would assume is the reasoning behind it. It was probably just really messy.
Frankly, that reads like he just doesn't like dragons, and he wanted to cancel it. So I'm not gonna.
He just doesn't like. This is why we haven't gotten Avowed in the 4 years since that game's been announced.
Is that what he's? Has he been doing? Has he been doing dirty stuff there too? Huh?
Oh damn, man!
Maybe.
Elder Scrolls 6 better watch out.
It should honestly. Avowed's going to challenge it. That's not a joke. That is real. It'll come in the same year that the next Elder Scrolls games come out, and no one's gonna even expect it. They're gonna be so shocked. What is this mission you were talking about? That's kind of like. Do you know anything about it? The 007 style mission? Because I feel like it's kind of weird to play a Hitman game.
Oh, it was just the last level of Hitman 3 was just like it wasn't very Hitman like styled, and it people said like when they announced that hey they're doing a 007 game, people were like, well that kind of makes sense. You were experimenting with some of the ideas that you're probably going to take into your next thing with this final level of Hitman. Okay, that makes sense. It was just kind of like a people connecting dots type thing. Hitman, though, I think is actually really, really interesting how they've managed to keep that game alive. Obviously, that they've continued to bring the levels forward as each iteration comes out. And, Hitman 1 starting with that episodic level by level release every couple of months or whatever thing, I think worked and didn't work for them. Like it was the beginning of an idea, but like it just didn't work for that type of package. Players really do prefer just having the whole game and then getting updates as they go on. So I think that's where they've kind of gone with Hitman 2 and now with Hitman 3 and World of Assassins. Is that what it's called? Yeah, now that they've rebranded Hitman 3. And then the fact that they just continue to give it cool updates like the freelancer mode, which is their roguelite mode, which is really, really cool. And, just constantly update that game is really, really fascinating how they've quietly made this game not a games of service game, but just a game that is getting support and players are constantly coming back to and enjoying and so forth. So it's really interesting to see what they've done with that. I think IO, obviously, with how they're talking about their fantasy game, a game built from the core to entertain players and expand for many years to come. They're obviously looking at, as is the trend in this industry right now, at just creating more of a platform for gamers to keep coming back to instead of just like a singular game that you just buy and play once.
Tavin, you just described a games as service game.
Yes.
But it's not. I get it. I get what your point is.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like it does get updates and continues to keep coming forward and stuff, and players are enjoying that. But they're not like. I think the way that they're strategizing and marketing it is different. And I kind of see something similar, funny enough, with the way Nintendo is treating Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where they just keep giving us more because people keep buying it. So they're like, all right, yeah, sure, here's another one. And yeah, sure, here's another one. Yeah, all right, yeah, we'll give you more. Even though it was totally not the intention to be that way. But, players kept buying it and supporting it and playing it. So they were like, yeah, here's some more content. Sure, fuck it. Very un-Nintendo thing to do. Like, not a real thing for that. So we talked about when there was that week of like mad games and service games getting shut down. It was like Rumbleverse and
Knockout City, I believe, was that
Knockout City. Yeah, said they were coming to an end, which I don't think Knockout City ever planned on being a full games of service game. It's just a game that they continue to support. Is we're seeing where like you don't have to be one or the other. You don't have to be a non-games of service like you pick up, play for a little while, put down, or hey, this is your game that you log into once or twice every week and put in an hour or two to just see what's new and the updates and do your challenges. We're seeing sort of a middle ground where it's like, okay, well, we'll let a game live for a couple of years. We'll continue giving it support and stuff as long as you keep playing it for a couple of years. And if you stop playing it, then we'll stop making stuff for it and we'll make something new. And then you'll start playing that, and then the cycle will continue that way. Like, you're just seeing the tail of a lot of these games last a lot longer. Obviously not for everything, but for the ones that make sense is what's happening here. And I just enjoy seeing the experimentation, and I enjoy seeing the smaller, more interesting success stories like with Hitman here.